Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the pile of trucks that is my garage. We'll make some money on these trucks. Man, I have no money in this save. So, yeah, we're going to get these things done as quickly as possible today to get them turned around. And, wow, this thing just... I got some parts for it, apparently. I don't remember doing that, but we'll have a whole body. This truck's not going to be worth a ton. Oh, stop. Come back. Anyway, wow, this thing is, I love my truck. Make sure my tires are all blown up. Yeah, they're all inflated. Okay, so we have some work to do on this truck. This one, actually, once again, though, it's not so bad. I think, if I remember right, I tried hammering this out. So I have to apologize. I know there's a surprisingly religious amount of you that watch this. Well, not an amount. There's a religious group of you out there that like this video series, which I'm very glad about, by the way. Nothing? I think that's as far out. I think we did this last time, and this was as far as we could get it. So let's go ahead and grab this, and I'm going to pull the doors off, and we'll do them separately because there's kind of a mess in here, like with rust. We'll never get this truck to be beautiful, I don't think, but we can at least get it sellable. Oh, yeah, this is really bad here. I can't even loosen the freaking door. Wait a minute. It's like I don't have sound or something. Oh, weird. There's no sound. Give me 1 second here. Hold on. All right, now I got sound. So I have no idea if I loosen this or not. I don't think I did. I might not be able to get that off, which is odd. This thing's so ding, dang, bang, whacked out of shape, I can't loosen the bolts. Okay. This is not loose. No. All right, well. Oh, they're on the door. Maybe if I... No, so I can't see them on the door either. Weird, but let's just leave it on. I'm not going to take it off. And there's my phone. I've been recording for literally 2 seconds. It's going to storm, so I now have to go get the lawnmower in. Seriously, just... I always have to undo things that I didn't do. All right, so I'll be right back. So as I was saying, there's a pretty devoted group of you guys that watch these videos. And so I do want to apologize for being pretty slack about getting these done. We are definitely in a situation where my finances are really tough right now, and then on top of it, it's summer, so I'm trying to do stuff with Eliza and my wifey Pooh so that they're not just like sitting at home bored, but we don't have any money, so it's like we just go places. Like there's a free splash park in Medina where we go and the baby splashes around happily in the water, and doing stuff like that. So what happens is, usually during the winter, there's nothing to do outside, so I'm just basically inside recording. But during the summer, I'm busy. And then I have, my business still has some jobs coming in. So then I'll have some side work. Oh, shoot. I'll have some side work going on for my business. So then that happens too. And it's good because then we have money coming in. But anyway, the point is, I have not forgotten about this series, and it will continue. It's just going to be a little bit slower during the summer, and that's always how summer is. I can either give up streaming altogether and just do YouTube, which I've got lots and lots of stream followers that would not be happy about that, or I can kind of try to do both and on a lighter scale. So that's what we're doing now. So we will continue this game. Don't worry, there will be more episodes. They might not be like every day like you want them to be, but they'll be, enough that it'll be enjoyable for you and for me. Oh my gosh, this is really bad here. Out of sand. What did I do? Oh, yeah. Oh, what happened to my nice, neat stack? I guess I must have walked through it. That happens. Now, the one thing I'm really not enjoying about these pickup trucks, which Oh, and the other thing that kind of sucks is I think the price has gone down on some of these, like where I think this was probably going to be worth 13 or 14,000 when all said and done. It's now probably going to be worth less. Is there? Oh, there is a hood on this. It's in the garage. I was like, is there a hood? I thought this was complete. There's cleanliness problem right there. Let's grab our other hose. Creeping around on the floor. Swear to God, it seems like it's always night, and it's just like SnowRunner. Any games where you don't want it to be night, it feels like it's always night. Like, no matter what you do, the sun has gone down. It's kind of like real life, actually. It's like, oh, dang, day's already over. What the? Where did the time go? Yeah, that's going to be a problem. That's all right. We'll have to hit all that. If I can't get in the back, I'm in trouble. I need to get in the back of this truck. Come on. There, oh, almost went off. This has like a certain distance where you can use it in the bed. It's really weird how it works. It's not... You can do it, but it's really finicky. As you can see, I'm doing it. But it's finicky. So get all that. And this. Oh, fudge. And some things just... Yeah, like what the... Now what's going to happen is the other side is going to be unpainted. It'll go through. Let's take a look at the truck and see if this is counted still. Clean state. Yeah, it's still 3 stars on the rust. So, unfortunately, most of the rust is in the bed. And I don't... There we go. Arg. Sometimes alternate painting helps, but gosh, this is really not working. Jeez, oh Pete, come on. I'm going to go through the whole thing of sand without it working. Look at that. See, it's coming through the other side. Let's push this truck a little. I'm thinking maybe there's a grid issue. Let's try to push this a little bit and see if we can't. Scoot it over and then make it glitch because we scooted it over. It'll make a difference maybe. Probably not, though. You're freaking kidding. All right, so that's going to be a real problem here. Because it seems like there's a little bit of rust there, but the vast majority of the rust, unfortunately, is right there. Are you serious? This is the kind of stuff that just... I can clean it, but I can't, for whatever reason, I can't hit it with the... And once again, this is a game problem. I wish they would fix that, but I know what they're doing or attempting to do is amazing. Like, this is pretty crazy that they're able to do this kind of stuff. But... And now I'm getting text. I think that's probably Mr. Micah telling me he's ready to record. So we'll finish this episode, and then I got to go do some SnowRunner. So it wasn't that weird. So then all of a sudden I was able to get through it. But, okay, now this, I'm touching it. Touching you. Woo! Nope. Fudge knuckles! Oh. I wish I would have pressed alternate. There. Okay, alt. Oh my God, how much of this am I going to... I'm not even touching it. The frustration is real. I almost wish I could just... Okay, I'm done. We're going to look at something here because this is really stupid. It's just not... But we're going to make money, but the problem is... Let's see, how far are we along here? Yeah, see, it is that bed that's causing the problem. Just buy a new effing bed, dude. Like, seriously. How much is a bed? Super frustrating. B200. Body. See, and you can't just buy a bed. You have to, like, assemble it. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I wish I could just... Thinking about this. Yeah, so you can't just buy it in a solid bed. You have to actually completely piece the bed together, which, though that said, I wonder if it would be easier just to pull this apart. Hold on one second, folks. All right, so I kind of looked into it a bit, and sadly, there really isn't any good thing I can do to this. To make it easier, it's all going to be like if I want to take the bed off and completely disassemble the bed and do it that way, it might work, except for that's a big job. And this is supposed to be a quick turn. There we go. So I'll just have to deal with the computer being weird or with the game being weird, and we may not be able to get 100% Rust score. The word there's some words that are coming to my mind right now that I can't say. I'm just going to leave those words unsaid. Oh, and by the way, I messed around with the trailer in this game a little bit. Like I bought one in my online game that I'm playing. Fuck! I'm trying not to swear. I have a Neva that I've put in a huge motor. We put the V8 in it, and I was gonna use it to tow. Well, I tried to attach the trailer to the Neva, and it rocketed the Neva into a brick wall, which of course smashed the crap out of it. So I don't think that I'm gonna be using a trailer ever in this game. I would like to try the flatbed truck at some point. But we'll have to build it, so that's like not necessarily the easiest thing to do. All right, we're slowly but surely getting this stupid thing. It's all about angles. Oh, I used an entire bag of sand trying to do that. Okay, we're done. I give up. Stupid game. And I'm stuck in the alternate screen there. So I have this is kind of funny. I was this weekend, and I keep all the weddings that I video that I edit. Now I don't keep any weddings that I don't edit. So if I hadn't edited it, I don't have it. If I film it and then hand it over to another videographer, it's not my job to keep their stuff. I missed a spot on the hood. And so I just, I don't keep it for them. But if I've actually done editing work on it where I, take the video and turn it into a story for them, then I keep that because, I have the master files then. So I've stored those on a hard drive. Well, we had a couple come in from about 3 or 4 years ago, right? I think it was during COVID, actually, that they were like, oh, my God, like our computer got stolen. And the USB drive that I gave them for whatever reason doesn't work anymore because it's probably like a million years old and was never taken care of. Anyway, the point is they called panicking to the company and we're like, oh, my God, we lost our wedding. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. Like, that does suck. I felt bad for them. And that gets the hose back on the thing, by the way. Well, that's why I'm running the other direction. So I went through my stuff, and I was able to happily find the drive for them and get it to them. And I thought that was pretty cool, though. I was like, Arthur saves the day. But what was funny, I remember specifically about that wedding was it was one of many weddings that I did in Columbus where, for some reason, just during that time, the groom's name was Connor. And I know there's lots of people out there named Connor, but it's just funny because like those 2 years, everybody's name was Connor. 90E3FB, 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 90E3 Franklin Bravo. We're gonna need at least 2, and so. But what I was getting at about that wedding was that the photographer girl kept calling him Coner. And I'm like, it's Connor. She's like, okay, Coner. Like, I don't know if she was trying to pretend like she had an English accent. I don't know. It was really weird. I'm like, she kept calling him Coner. And then so I had her later in the year, and this is what cracked me up. Brad and I shot with her again, and it was in Columbus, and she's a really sweet girl, like really, really nice photographer. I like working with her. She's always, mindful of where we are and works with us well and doesn't get in the way, gives us time to get done what we need to get done. She's really good to work with. But anyway, she's like, and I was like, oh, and I remember in my head, I'm like, oh, that's the girl that caused Coner. And she's like, now what wedding did I do with you guys? And I was just waiting for it. I couldn't. I'm like, oh God, she's going to say it. She's like, oh, that's right. You were with me with Coner and Abby. And I'm like, no, I guess she just doesn't know how to pronounce Connor. Coner. Oh, it's very weird. People are weird. Turn this back on. Make sure we got all that. Yeah. So what sucks is I don't think we're going to be able, with the rust being at, I don't know if we can get this up to 5 stars on the paint if the rust is still there. That's all done. Okay, we can shut that. There's a little spot there. And the other thing that I'm finding with this game is you don't necessarily have to be perfect. That's the weird thing to me, is it'll give you the stars as long as you're close to almost done. It will oftentimes give you the stars anyway. So I'm going to give you the real life truck story, because there's been some updates, and some of you probably that have come in just for this series have no idea what I'm talking about. But since I'm painting, it's a good time to tell a story. About 3.5 years ago, my mom sadly passed away. She had this neighbor named Phil. And I was talking to Phil one day. My wife and I had been looking. When my mom passed, she left me this Honda Pilot. And I didn't really like the Pilot. And there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm a big guy, and I don't fit well in the Honda Pilot. It's just not a comfortable fit. So I was talking to the neighbor guy. And this neighbor, just to show you what kind of guy he was, at least I thought, like when it would snow, he would plow my mom's driveway because he lived next door, and he was a married guy. He has a kid, runs his own business. I've done work with him. We made a commercial for him for one of his businesses, so he worked with it he paid well, and, it seemed like an upstanding person, just a nice guy. If my mom would get sick, he would take her soup. So he says, look, as I was telling him about the truck, he's like, what are you going to do with that Pilot? Like, because he was interested in it because he had an MDX, and he's like, I really like these trucks, and I was wondering if you wanted to sell it, I'd be willing to buy it from you. And I was like, well, I do need a truck, but I really don't like this one. I would like something bigger. And at the time, my wife had horses, and so I was like, maybe something that can haul horses, so it has to be big, like a Suburban. And he's like, oh, you know what? Like the guy that did your mom's alarm I'm friends with, his name's Dan, and he's got this really nice truck. Like he's got it's a GMC Denali, and it's in great shape. It hasn't been driven for a couple years, but it's in great shape. And so I'll buy the Honda from you, and then you can buy that truck. I'll it needs a little bit of work, but if you pay me, by the way, his business was parts. He was a parts guy. He bought and sold car parts. So I was like, perfect. Like that, he had all kinds of, connections with mechanics and stuff. He's like, well, I'll just, I'll take the Pilot, and then, you can buy this truck from me, and I'll give me extra money, and I'll fix the truck up for you, And so he's like, look, I bought the truck from him for $4,000 and, or from Dan for $4,000. And I gave Phil an additional $3,000 to do any kind of repairs that needed to be done to get the truck up and running. And so he's like, cool. And so then I'm like, how long is this going to take you? And he's like, oh, probably like a month or two, maybe 3 months at the most, but it'll be done before the end of summer. And I'm like, all right, perfect. So thus the saga began of Phil's excuses. And for the next year, Phil just made excuse after excuse about why the truck wasn't done. It was parts weren't available for this. He got it out of the garage and it was filled with mildew. And so he had to do this special treatment to it that would get rid of the mildew, which is true. That's all. Those are all things that are true things. But it had been parked in the basement. So he's like, we really need to take care of the mildew problem. So I'll get that taken care of. You can just, I'll take care of it for you. I'm like, okay, cool. So, so that took him a while, and then, and so this went on and on and on and on, and I'm like, and it was just so almost a year went by, and truck still wasn't done. It supposedly he had gotten the bomb done in the fall, and then took it to the mechanic. It took them until the middle of spring, supposedly, allegedly, to get the truck up and running, because there's a lot of things that needed to be done, and it took him a while to get parts. There's always an excuse about parts, excuse about his health, excuse about his wife's health, excuses about his dad's health, about his daughter's health, all these excuses. Excuse. And I have them on text, by the way. I'm not making this stuff up. I kept all the text messages, and literally, there's 40 different excuses about why he didn't have the truck done. So it's getting antsy, and I'm like, okay, come on, Phil. I need this truck. Now Eliza was due, and I knew we were going to have a baby. And I'm like, dude, we need to get this truck done. It's not cool anymore. I really like you, Phil, but this is ridiculous. You need to get this truck finished. So he hems and haws, and he's like, okay, I'll have it done to you. It'll be done, by the fall. Well, fall comes around when Eliza's born, and we still don't have a truck. And I'm pretty ticked off by this point. And so he's like, then he calls and he's like, oh yeah, the truck's done. The mechanics are finished with it. It's running great, blah, blah, blah. Now it has to go to get the body work done. So I'm going to go take it to the body work. It should take about a week, and then the truck will be finished. This was in maybe, I want to say mid-September, early October of going into our, second year of working, quote unquote, working on the truck. This would have been a year and a half. So, we went through, I bought the truck in spring. It took them an entire year to get back to that spring. And then through the summer, that's when it was supposed to be getting worked on. And then into the following fall. And this truck supposedly went to the guy to get fixed. So in October, truck's still not back 4 weeks later. And I'm like, Phil, now the baby's here. My car is getting ruined because my wife is running a horse barn, and she's bringing her dirty boots into the car, and there's, manure in my back seat. And I bought this truck so that this wouldn't happen to my car. I had my brand new car. It was ruined. And he's, the owner of the shop that's working on once again, excuses. He had a heart attack or a stroke. And so he's not doing it anymore. And so his son took over, and unfortunately his son doesn't want to do this anymore. So he is going to sell the business. he basically got the truck fixed, and he wants me to pay him extra money for the truck because he says, you know, he doesn't want to do the trade deal that I had with his dad. So now I'm stuck because the guy wants money, and I can't get the truck until I pay him. And I'm like, I'm still falling for this stuff because I'm an idiot. So I'm like, okay, Phil, well, let's, you know, what is that? Oh, it's just discoloration. And he's like, so I believed him. And, you know, so the fall went, winter came and went. It's now spring, and I got a little bit of money in. I'd been saving up. And I said to Phil, so this is like a year ago now. I have money. How am I going to get this truck? Can we get this truck out of Hawk? Like, I need the truck. Like, I'm still, you know, we need to do something because it's been almost, you know, 2.5 years now. It's definitely been whatever. It's been 2 years. Where's the frickin' truck, you know? And I said, I have the money. I'll pay whatever the difference is. And, you know, let's get this thing out of Hawk and get it done. And so he's like, oh, okay. Yeah. It'll be $2,800. And I'm like, oh God. Okay. So I get cash out and I, you know, mark it for the truck. Like when I went to the bank and asked them for a statement, you know, showing it, and I marked it off. This is, you know, for truck repair. And so he's like, I'll get you the title and we'll meet at the title place and you'll give me the money and I'll go get the truck this weekend and pay the guy and we'll get it finished. So I still can't hit it. Okay, I'm just going to leave it. And so I'm like, okay, you know, I guess that'll work. So this guy. So he comes down, he gives me the title. So I've got the title now. And he takes the truck and supposedly gets the truck out of Hawk. And so it's like Saturday, right? The next day, because it was Friday that we did the trade. And on Saturday, I call him and I'm like, hey, Phil, when are you bringing the truck? Like today or tomorrow? And he's like, well, there's a problem with the battery and there's an oil pressure message. And I'm like, I thought all this stuff got fixed. Like, because he told me before that there was an oil pressure message, like a year ago. And I'm starting to be like, you told me this already. How is it possible that that's a problem again? Because supposedly you fixed this already. And I didn't tell him that, but I'm like thinking, and I'm getting it all in text, you know. And he's like, well, let me talk to Dan. And Dan, of course, Dan's the original owner, okay? He's like, what the frick? Oh, it's because it's because I took that and it went through when I was trying to spray those spots. He's like, well, I got to talk to Dan and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. Why do you have to talk to Dan? What does he have to do with anything? He's like, well, no, I'll figure it out. I'm like, I'll just talk to Dan. How does that sound? And he's like, no, I'll take care of it. And and my alarm bells went off and I'm like, shoot, this guy has been taking me to the laundry. So I called Dan, the owner, the original owner of the truck. And I'm like, hi, brother. Like, I just, you know, wanted to see if you knew what was going on with this truck. Like, what's the status? Like, because I'm not sure Phil's telling me everything that's going on. And he's like, well, what do you mean? It's still down in the basement. And I'm like, okay, so just so you guys know, he has a shop where this guy works out of, this Dan guy. He has a shop at a like it's not an apartment building, but it's like a commercial building. And they have an underlot garage. So the truck was parked outside or parked in this underlot garage. That's where I first saw it. And he's like, so he's like, yeah, it's still there. And I'm like, well, has it was supposed to have left and been in Hawk and all this other stuff. He's like, no, it never left. And I'm like, so you mean that truck has been there the whole time? Like, since I purchased it from you. He's like, yeah, it never went anywhere. So Phil never touched it. He's like, no, I was wondering what you guys were doing with it because it's been 2 years. And I'm like, by this time, smoke's coming out of my ears. So I kind of explained to him the situation. He's like, no, I'm telling you the truth, man. Like, that truck has not gone anywhere. It's been sat there. I was so angry. So anyway, I contacted Phil and I said, basically, I know what you did last summer, you know, and you know, it was not a nice text. And I'm like, basically, I know you screwed me over. I'm pissed. You better effing, you know, fix this. I demand that truck be in full running order in my driveway by next Friday, and I better have that a check, for the $2,800 that I gave you to quote unquote get it out of Hawk when it wasn't in Hawk. You just lied to me. Like, you better get that taken care of. And of course, he didn't. So that's I've sued him, and he's lost the lawsuit, and now we're just waiting for the judge to give us the final judgment as far as what he's going to owe, but it's going to be a lot. Like, he's going to owe probably triple what I gave him, because it ended up, after I had sent him that text message, he ran off with the truck. Didn't tell anyone he was taking it. He just took it. So Dan called me and was like, hey, do you know where the truck is? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, Phil's taking it. And I'm like, okay. And so, yeah, so Phil took the truck. Now the truck is finally back, but the point is he took the truck, so that made it theft on top of it. So then he's in a world of hurt. But anyway, as of last weekend, well, yeah, see, we really didn't make any money. I think they've changed the pricing on these, because the last time I did one of these, it was like $14,000. We've made some money, and for very little work, honestly. And mostly we just cleaned and painted. It cost us maybe like $2,000 to do that project or whatever. But anyway, so let's put this together now. Yeah, so my point is, the truck, I called Dan because I had to let him know that we may need to have him for a deposition, to kind of, wow, that's, nope, customer sign. There we go. And he was, of course, willing to work with us. He's like, oh yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, so that's pretty much the whole story. I mean, it sucks. We got screwed, but, the truck reappeared, and so Dan, when I was talking to him about that whole thing, he's like, yeah, by the way, the truck is back in the parking lot if you want to come, get it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I went up there yesterday. This is the whole point of telling you this whole big, long story is to tell you that it's kind of like this game. The truck is in so bad condition. It's been sitting out for a year. So now, it wasn't rusty. It was only a little bit rusty before, like it had some rusty parts. Now it's just coated with rust. It is just rust crazy. It's nuts how rusty the dang thing is. Okay, why aren't these cleaning? Is this new? What is this? Have they changed something that it's now parts get rusty now? But see, here's the thing. Why is this not cleaning? Is that rust? Or is this the color? I'm not sure what happened to that. Do we need to sandblast that? That could be a change with a patch. I've never seen that before where they don't. Well, let me move this out here. Where they won't clean off. Oh, that's new. Yeah, so the truck is in bad shape. It's definitely... It does have an oil pressure problem, which I guess is a common problem with these Chevys, or with the Vortec 6-liter. There's a little seal in the bottom of the engine that goes bad. And that seal will cause the engine to starve of oil if it goes bad. It's called like a pump seal or something. It's a little O-ring. It's like the space shuttle. The whole thing goes down if it doesn't work right. And so I can't drive it until we take the entire engine has to come apart, and that stupid piece has to be replaced. Yeah. So apparently leaving your stuff out is a bad idea. That's new. These are corroded now because I left them sitting out. Doesn't seem to happen when they're on the trucks, but when they're on the ground, apparently this is a new issue, which is kind of cool. I like that actually, because you should have to polish these up when you get them. So you must have to keep them inside to prevent that, which will mean that the garage at the shop will probably be a lot more important than it was. Yeah, so yeah, it's been a journey, and I finally have I don't have the truck home yet. I'm gonna have to get it home. I'm gonna have to probably get it towed. Honestly, I'll probably just leave it where it's at now, and until I can afford to get it fixed, and then I'll get it towed somewhere and have them give me an estimate and save up. And but the good news is at least I won the lawsuit, and then I can just, once the money comes in from that, if we can get the money, which, as you know, getting money from a lawsuit's tough. But it does happen. Like if he ever wants to sell his house, he's going to have to give us the money. So, this is going to be a nightmare because this piece is like all weird shaped and stuff. It's getting there, but it's shoes and socks. I guess I can at that point decide what it's a nice, like I said, I still want to keep the truck. It's a cool truck, but it's like, we'll have to decide whether we keep it or sell it. Fwing. Ugh. This did not go as easily as I wanted it to. So, has anyone else experienced this rust stuff in the game, or is this all? Oh, it's not coming off on the light things. The light sockets. Dang it. So anyway, I'm happy. Or I'll be happy when we get the money anyway. But at that point, we can decide whether we're going to keep the truck or not. God, I wish I wouldn't have left that out because these were not rusty like this when I got them. They were just dirty. This is a nightmare. Oh, well, that's as good as it's going to get. But all this rust reminds me of the truck. So I wonder if I don't... Ooh, look at that. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at the truck itself. There's really very little rust on this truck, which is nice. Oh, I should probably clean it first. Let's go ahead and wait till morning because it's really dark. Enter. Enter. There we go. The sun's coming up. Good morning. Go to sleep. Wake up. Go to sleep. Wake up. Oh, it's not a bad color. Some of the trucks I've gotten have been like hot pink. I'm like, I don't think Ford ever made those as the factory color. So this has been fun starting out at the home. I really like the fact that we can kind of work our way towards, owning our own garage, and so it's going to be, the builds are going to be important. So what I found is that we've been doing some experimenting. It seems like, from what I can tell, the best thing that you can do is obviously the car builds are super important, and you want to keep it stock. So putting performance parts in a car doesn't really increase the value at all. We've tested this. So we put like took one of those little 4-cylinders and Louis made it a turbo, and he sold with all high-powered parts, and that ends up costing probably $2,000 to $3,000 more to do the full performance setup, and it gained him $400 at sale. So you end up spending more money and getting you're actually losing money at that point because you spent a lot more for the build. So you're better off just selling the truck stock is what I'm getting at, or the cars, trucks, whatever. And they have upped the prices a little bit on all the cars, which is nice. So they're bringing in more money than they used to, which is good because for a while, like a nicely redone car still was only getting like maybe $10,000, $8,000, $10,000 for some of the smaller cars, but now restored, they're going for like $16,000 to $18,000. So it's definitely worth doing a full up restore. I also recommend, just from a starting standpoint, you will get more money for the Chads, and the Jesse. Those definitely pull more dollars, but it's like $8,000 to $10,000 more. So to start off with, the builds are much simpler on the Russian Lad and Niva. Well, the Niva is kind of complex, but the 4-cylinder motor is very simple. Doesn't have a ton of parts, and the parts are fairly cheap. So it seems like to start with, you really kind of want to go down the Lad line and build some Lads to generate income, and then when you want to get fancy with it, you can do other vehicles. But to get started, you're probably better off just building Chads, period, because Chads are cheap. See if I can hit this a little bit more. It's still bugging me because it's not. There's still some spots. I don't know where the hose is. Let's take this here. It doesn't work for this. Maybe if I set this down out here, and I'll run away and then come back later and get it. Okay. Now I need to get it because I need the hose. It's on there. Yeah, that worked. Ta-da! Magic reappearing hose. What? Say what? Oh, man, I'm running low on this already. I need to buy more. Whoa! Stop it. Not what I was aiming to do. Yeah, those are in a bad spot. That kind of sucks because you can't really... That might actually lower the value of the truck because... Shoot. So there's this. Okay. Anything down here? Yep. So we're going to have to test it and see if we can find, like, if that makes a difference. If that bumper makes it more or less valuable because it's rusty. How did I miss all this with the hose? Oh, Arthur. Okay. Let's see here. I'll give you a nice long episode anyway for those of you that missed out, so you can come back and watch some more. Because we're already at like 44 minutes. This is probably going to be an hour-long episode by the time I finish the second truck, or longer, because this takes a while. Yeah, let's clean this off, just to clean it. It all counts towards the cleanliness score. Let's see the side too. The bed. The bed is a nightmare. That's the only thing. And like, I probably am going to stop doing trucks for rust missions or for these restore missions. Because once again, it's so hard to get the bed clean. Now, if you find a truck that's a flatbed, oh crap, I just dropped the hose through the earth. Shoot, that's probably never going to come back. Maybe it will. Let me walk down the driveway and come back. I dropped the hose through the earth. See, that's dirt. Weird. I think that's a glitch that won't come clean. Shiitake mushrooms. The hose is gone. Okay, well, moving along. Let's take a look at this again. And I still need to get rid of more rust. Okay, but at least this hose is still here, and I didn't throw that through the earth. Yeah, this back wall is not quite so bad, and I'm not programming wise. I'm not sure why that is. Aside from the wall to my right is indented, and I think maybe that's what causes it to be weird. Alternate this way, yep, and down here. Okay. Ugh. Just noticed this. Okay, I probably blew it through the other side. Yeah, I did. So I'm going to oops. All right, that's all good. This is all good. There's some rust here. See, rust starts appearing as you do this. That's the other thing that I love about this game. You can never tell exactly what's going to happen because rust settles in. Rust settles in. Okay, let's figure out what color this bad boy is. Rust should be all remediated. Yes, it is. Color condition, clean state is good. So color condition, we have 191717. 191717. See if that's the right color. Yep. Buy 2 spray cans. That does not look right. But, no, it is. Did I do it wrong? Is that wrong? No. 191717. 191717. Okay, well. Meow, 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 meow. Wow, it's not liking that. Some of these colors are hard to, it's the thickness. It's not going all the way on. Mm-hmm. 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 That's just dirt. Oh, fudge. Okay, there we go. That went on. It seems like the lighter the color, the easier the application, I've noticed. It's if you're doing... That's just dirt. Once again, if this were going to be like a cell build, I would make sure it's perfect. It's not. But I think score-wise, this will score pretty much 100%. So, like right now, there's still a little bit of rust on it, but it's showing that there's no rust. It's just weird how it works. Got this right there. And this right there. So I really only needed one baba. here. Here we go. Oh, you look lovely. Okay, so this is all done. Let's see what it shows up as. Yep, it's full color condition. That's beautiful. Oh, but I forgot this panel. Oh, what is going on? Oh, I'm pressing the wrong dang button. I was pressing the E button instead of W. George W. George Bush. That looks terrible. Weird. Is that dirt? That's still that weird dirt stuff on there. I got no hose. Okay, well, I have no hose to clean this truck. Beep, beep, boop, boop. What the truck? I have no hose to clean. Yola lady who. La 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 lady oh lady oh lady oh. Okay, now let's check it and see. Did the rust go down? No, condition's still good. So I don't know. But we'll put this on. I think this goes on with a hoop and a holler and a yeehaw and a. Yep, that goes there and that goes there. And then the boomper and the boompies. Put the boompies on. Stick our face through. Stick them here. Stick them when they're up. Stick them when they're down. Get dirty laundry. All in all, you're just a totally different song. Oh, there it is. I need to find it. I couldn't do it. Yeah. Okay. So now let's see. Is that still? Yeah. So we made like $2,000 on that. We have $16,000. That's good though. I mean, we started with 10. We've made 6 total, but we've also purchased a truck, and we've gotten a decent amount of equipment. You know, I mean, there's a lot going on here, and this is good. What do I have here? This is a gearbox automatic for what? Wolf Lad. It says anything, but that's not true. I don't know what that's for. That's definitely not a Chad. That's probably, I don't know what that'll work for, but we can throw it in something, hopefully. Pick these up. All right, so we're going to take a look and see what our next project is. We got a couple minutes left. So I'm gonna do a speed run down to the junkyard and see what we have. Oh no, I got stuck. But they've definitely reduced the amount of money that you make. Is this empty? No, okay. On those resprays, which is okay. I mean, honestly, it's still decent money. We made like $3,000 or $4,000 just for doing some scraping and doing some cleaning, and it wasn't how long did that take us? 15 minutes on the second truck. The first truck was a little more in depth, but we also made more money on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and drive myself down to my gorgeous truck. Drive myself down to the junkyard. We're going to see if we can find a nice, crappy lad coupe. Lad coupe. Actually, you know what I should do before we take off? Probably take the parking brake off. Oh! Yep. Yeah, we should probably grab that. Always a good idea to take your toodles with you. What is that? There's stuff in the back of the truck that still. What? Okay, that's more like it. Making me nervous. Oh. The lovely disappearing parts. Oh, I got $0 for that. That's okay. Oh, now they're back out. So where's the hose? Where's my garden hose? A hose. A kingdom for my hose. All right. All right. Ooh. All right, come on, Austin. Mr. Powers. All right, I'll be back. I'm going to drive down. See you guys in a minute. It's time to arrive at the junkyard. All right. Actually, we can bring that desk home. That would be nice. Let us go ahead and shut this off. Parking brakes off. Lights off. And we have arrived at our current situation. I did find a box at that house that we pass. I don't know if you guys remember. There's a house out there. No big deal. I just grabbed it because I was like, well, I don't have my move tool. Dang it. I was going to take the desk back home, but I guess not today. Not today. Oh. I am going to need a lift. Oh. I really wish I brought that tool. All right, the loading is over. The waiting is the hardest part. Shiitake mushrooms are the best. All right, there's that. That's smushed. Nope. Put that down there. Let's just take a look around. This one. This has got some potential. That's junk. The body's in really good shape. Let me look closely here, but there's no... The biggest thing to me is deformities. We can deal with the rusted, well, then all that stuff can be replaced. But the big thing is deformities. So we want to make sure that we don't have things that are like totally bent out of shape. And this car is 100% complete, not bent out of shape. Seats, yeah, those panels are pretty bad. I'm going to see if we can reduce the price. Okay, so right now it's worth $22.03. Remember that. $22.03. What did I do with my... There it is. $22.03. There's definitely a lot of parts that are going to be needed. But, you know, I mean, for what it is. That's probably not salvageable. I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, look, though. It's pretty... I mean, it's fairly complete. The motor's crap. We can paint that the same color. Yeah, I mean, I'm digging this. This is good. Yeah, we'll have to get new beauty. That's one beauty ring on this thing. See if we can find some more of those hubcaps. But tires, let's see. We have our bicycle pump. We can check to see if the tires will hold air. This one actually looks good, yeah. Yep, that's holding air. I can't see how bald they are. It's probably... Honestly, we'll probably just throw a new pair of tires or a new set of tires on there. But if you get a couple of good tires, and then, I mean, that's not bad. All right, let's... That one's not bad. There's two good tires on here. And we're gonna tear it all apart and really see what we need, but there's definitely some things that can come off. So the rear seat is junk. I don't want to even pay for that. So what were we at here? This is what? It was 2,200, I think. Yeah, that actually went down. Did you see it glitch down when I took that out? So let's just take out the bad parts because there's no reason to keep bad parts. Take that out. Yep. That's going to be a screwdriver, isn't it? I can see the screwdriver from here. Where's the other one? There's one over here. Get rid of that. And the fuel tank crap. Get rid of this. All right. What else do we got that we can easily remove that is not working? I'm not going to go into like deep destruction here, but things that we could just rip out real quick that are bad. Oops, but it doesn't matter. We're going to be taking it all apart anyway. Those wires are good actually. This distributor top is bad. Chuck that. Yeah, that's bad. Fuel line is bad. Brake line is bad, but that's a nightmare to get out. Got this guy, it's bad. Once again, you really don't want to bother with performance parts. So we could get like there's an ignition coil and stuff that's worth that or that is faster, stronger. Unless you get it at the junkyard. Junkyard parts are okay, but the transmission's shot on this car. That sucks. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. What else? Yeah, that's all heavy disassembly. Get this out. Anything else? That pump is bad. Throw that out. The alternator's bad. The belt's good, though, amazingly. Somehow this car has a good alternator belt. I don't... Okay, well, that's probably good. I mean, we'll get the rest out later, but might as well get rid of some of the major parts that we can see and easily remove quickly that are just bad to start with. So let's go ahead and take this car. That's not bad. 2,000 bucks, $2,000, 2090. Get here for 2,000. It's not bad. All right, what else do we got? Got a coupe, a coupe, as they say. Different parts. Whoa, back of the car. This is not a very stock junkyard today. A lot of empty spots. Surprised. I have it maxed out, so, I mean, this car, too, this also is in good shape, but it doesn't... Oh, we want that. Yeah, we'll take that whole tire, actually. Both of these. I know I have two good ones, so let's see if we can get two more good ones. I got all the wheels. That one's good, yeah. The tires, I mean, it's not great, but how's the tread on this? That's like a brand new tire. That one looks really good. Okay. Pa-ching. See, I told you I'd give you a nice long episode. We're at 1 hour and 4 minutes. And so once we're done buying this stuff, we'll be done for the night. But we'll come back and look at other stuff. But yeah, this one's really nice too. These are both really good shaped tires. Okay. That's all I can think of for now because I didn't know what else it needed. So we'll have to figure that out. But that looks good. Anything off of these cars? Tail light. I know we need one of these. So we might as well grab this. Because that's good. I think my wife just dinged me. Good. And so we have that. And anything else? Nothing there. You can take that license plate. I do need a plate for the back. I will buy new plates. They actually have plates now that you can buy at the store, which is great. I do think it was missing a door, but I don't remember what the door is. This is a Salad Coupe door, and I don't know which one I need either. So I guess I probably should. That's an NIV door. It's a new international version door. A little biblical humor for you. All right, moving on out. Let's see what we got for our pride and joy. Oh, the tires are rolling away already. Yeah, so we got one unmatched tire, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. Yeah, so we got extra wheels in case we need them. This looks good. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to send this guy home. Tow to customer sign. Okay, and then we're going to grab this and put it in the back. And we're going to take these and that's it. Like, these are nice find. We're probably going to have to, I don't know, we could probably, we've been finding those beauty shells, so I think that we should be able to find most of them here. We're going to have to make lots of lists because there's lots of parts that we need. It'll be fun, just like building the pickup truck, except for now we got to travel back and forth, but we've got the pickup truck for that reason, so that we can come and get parts as we need them. And we're going to do the car in pieces. We'll do the body first. Actually, we'll do suspension first, and then engine parts, and then body. But we'll be looking. We'll have to make a master list of all the things that we need. Your small stuff. Or I can't call that anymore. I have to call it main list now because we're not allowed to say the word master ever again. The main list. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you had fun tonight. I definitely had a good time. Sorry it's been so long once again since I've had an episode of this, but here you go. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help. And I will see you out there in the universe of games. See you next time. Bye.